Welcome to SoCal Dram Tram. I'm Matt.
And I'm Cesar.
And today, before we get into this bottle, we just want to say if you're new here, hey, thanks for checking us out. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button on your way out. And if you're a returning viewer, thanks for sticking around. Nonetheless, everybody ring that little bell. That way you know whenever we drop a brand new video. But if you haven't figured it out, it's every Wednesday. Cesar, what do we got on the bar today?
Today, we got something from your bar, my brother.
That's right. We got a bottle that, this is my third bottle of it. We got the Sazerac Straight Rye Whiskey. So, Sazerac Straight Rye Whiskey. What's it all about? Because it's pretty much a staple on any whiskey drinker's bar. I'll tell you why it's a staple on my bar. In addition to it just being kind of delicious, neat, it's fantastic in cocktails. Unlike some other rye whiskeys, you don't lose a little bit of that rye spice that's in here, and it's really, really just nice whiskey. That said, though, there's actually two expressions of Sazerac Rye. There is a 18-year-old that gets released annually. It's part of the Buffalo Trace Antique Collection. You'd be hard-pressed to find it. More importantly, you'd be hard-pressed to find it at retail. However, this bad boy goes for anywhere between $20 to $35, depending on where you live. I usually pay about $24 for this guy, which is a huge value. And this is a mix of about 6-year-old straight rye whiskey. The mash bill on this guy, if I remember correctly, is going to be 51% rye, 39% corn, and 10% malt. So we've hit this a couple of times. We're no strangers to this. That's right. It's staple day here at the Dram Tram. And, you know, look, the reality is a lot of people are either new to rye or kind of pass this one up because they're like, it's $22, $25, $30. How good can it be? The truth is it's really solid. So this one is presented at 45% ABV because I do my homework, obviously. And like I said, this one, it's a rye whiskey, so no color added. It's aged in new American oak barrels, all that good stuff. Again, we've had this before. What are you expecting as we go into it?
I'm expecting the same goodness that I had the first time I had it. I remember enjoying it very, very, very much. So I'm looking forward to enjoying it very, very, very much.
Yeah, and I mean, this is from Sazerac Company. If I'm not mistaken, originally based in New Orleans. Buffalo Trace owns it. So
of course.
Another bottling of Buffalo Trace. I did the math the other day, and I think I have 12 bottles of Buffalo Trace. It's kind of ridiculous. But again, this is Sazerac Rye. So without any further ado, let's get into it. Traditionally, rye whiskey is actually used in like house cocktails back in the old days, and so that's why I use this in a lot of my whiskey-based cocktails. Whiskey sours I use this in. Sazerac, aka the whiskey cocktail of choice. I use 2 ounces of this, a little bit of absinthe, a couple dashes of bitters, a little bit of simple syrup, and it is just absolutely delicious. Exactly. Salt. Put salt in it. Just slapping meat. What are you getting on the nose on this one?
On the nose, I do get. Well, I mean, initially when I took out the coin, it was like, it was there for you. It came right out you. But
let me see if we do that.
replay.
Yes.
But after the air hits it, it's easy going rye. It's really good. I actually like this rye aromatic. It's like a high end cologne almost too.
It's got a little spiciness to it.
Yeah. What about you?
Definitely an herbal quality to it, but not so herbally where it's like offensive. It's not like, so we did recently the Angel's Envy Rye, right? Which is up here.
The rye.
That one, because it's 95% rye, the herbal notes for me anyway were like jumping out of the glass, but as soon as it hits your palate, it's just nothing but butterscotch for me again. It's just absolutely delicious. This one, I don't get as much rye jumping out of the glass, except for when you first take the coin off.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, little bit of licorice note, some honey, straight up honey in this, and I get like a little bit of a. Is it like a vegetable quality? Like maybe like a dill pickle, like the way pickle juice smells. I'm getting a little bit of that. Again, not in an offensive way, just like a little hint of it. So, but you already tasted it. What are you getting?
To be honest, I get like a honeyed brown sugar, a slightly spiced honey brown sugar. And you know what? Actually, I was about to take another sip, but if you after you finish swallowing it and the flavor goes away, just close your mouth and try to breathe in the air in your mouth. You get nice rye flavor out of it. Like it's still there, it's lingering in my mouth, and it tastes really good. Like this Sazerac, this Sazerac Rye is actually really good, folks. I'm pleasantly for $25, dude. For $25, this is outstanding, guys. Outstanding. And it just reminds me of the first time I had it. I remember Matt had this the first time a couple months ago, and I was like, "What's that?" He's like, "Oh, it's something. It's like $25 or whatever. It's rye."
I got
I'm
it
like,
as part of a bundle when I picked up something else, and I was like, "Oh, I've seen it on the shelf. I'm not really a rye fan." But then I started drinking it, and I'm like, "It's really good."
Exactly. And then I was like, "Can I have some of that?" He's like, "Yeah." And I was like, instantly, I was like, "Wow." I was like, this is actually really good stuff. And consistently, like the 2 or 3 times I came over to his place after that moment, this was the first thing I asked for to pre-drink, like to warm up, to drink to. I was like, could I have that Sazerac? Could I have that Sazerac? Could I have that Sazerac? That this is actually really, really good rye in my books, guys.
Yeah, it's really solid. I really do like it. That dill sour note does translate to the palate. And again, not in an offensive way, but in a rye way, or might say the right way. The punnery. That said, though, the honey, the brown sugar, super prominent. Again, there's just a sour quality to it. That's not unpleasant. In the way that, like, when you eat a warhead or like a lemon head, and it's just like, you ever notice all the sour candies have head in the name?
I did not actually.
Light bulb. But anyway, when you first take those, you have that real sour note, and then it goes to sweet. It's kind of like that, but it's in reverse. Like I get a little bit of the sour note on the finish, but again, it's not offensive in any way. Again, like I was saying before, I really like this whiskey because in cocktails, the rye flavors really hold up. It doesn't, even when it's getting watered down.
Oh yeah, he's made a couple cocktails for me.
It doesn't lose its flavor profile.
Not at all.
Which is really nice. Again, 45%. It should hold water okay, especially because it does have some bolder flavors to it. I'm curious to see what it does though, so I'm gonna let that marry together. Folks, if you've never had a Sazerac, I cannot recommend it enough. A little medicinal at first, but it's really nice cocktail. You can check out Greg from How to Drink. His episode's on it right here. I can't recommend it enough. It's a super good cocktail. One caveat, I do add some Woodford Reserve cherries on that thing, and it just... chef's kiss. What are you getting on it with water?
I actually have not tried it with water yet. I'm mixing it up right now, but
so that licorice spice note went away on the nose. I feel like I don't want to say I know what to expect with water because I use it in cocktails because I add a bunch of other stuff in the cocktail.
the end isn't as strong. The finish isn't as strong. I mean, it's still a good flavor. I prefer it neat. But and to be honest, the flavors are still there in the forefront. Like as far as you first sipping it, it's still there, but it goes away a lot quicker as far as for me with the water. I mean, you still get flavor. I'm just saying it drops quicker than without water.
So this has now transitioned with the water to the sour kind of came up on the palate. The brown sugar and honey notes kind of went away a little bit. And now I'm getting... I don't know if this is a thing, but imagine like soured Red Hots. Like Red Hots with like the sour sugar on it.
Interesting.
Like I'm getting a little bit of that sour, spicy bite, but then it goes into like Red Hot cinnamon flavor. And again, it's not like offensive cinnamon where we've had some where it's like you put water on, you're like, oh no, get this off, please. This is still pleasant enough to drink if you're into that flavor, right? Like this isn't necessarily something that I would love to drink with water, on a neat pour or anything like that. But again, in cocktails, it holds up quite nicely because you have all those other things added into it. So for me, 25 bucks, straight rye whiskey, 6 years old, 45%, great in cocktails, and I don't feel bad about pouring in a cocktail, and I can replace it. Like I said, this is my third bottle. I'm going to say 3.5. 3.5 only because I am not reaching for it for a neat pour. Like if I'm pouring whiskey just, at the end of the day or anything like that, I don't know if I'm reaching for this, but I am reaching for it in a cocktail, like I said multiple times in this video. So 3.5 for me, I think that sits perfectly for this one. Because again, it's a good mixer, but you can drink it neat if that's what you prefer. Where are you going?
So I'm actually going to give it a 4. I like it a lot, especially if the price point is what bumped up my level. Because if this was like a, $50 or $40, I'd be like, it's probably a 3. But because it's at $25 and the flavors I get out of it, I think it's like a golden Easter egg, which is what reminds me of the Evan Williams, right? That bottle of the Bond was $20 and it ended up being like really, really good for it being only $20.
Homie, that's $16.
You see, exactly. For it being that cheap, you don't expect it to be that good, but it's a golden Easter egg because it's actually really good. So same thing with this. I would totally like walk right by it 100 times because of the price point. Yeah, because of the price point, because it's only $25. What? But once you actually have it, it's like this has no right being this good. This has no right being this good at 20. No, really, it has no right being this good at $25. So it's a golden Easter egg for me, and that's why I give it a 4 at $25. It's definitely one of the best $25 whiskeys you can pick up.
Yeah, I mean, fun story about Evan Williams when I went to High Time the other day, and they had a handle of it for $24.
Oh my god!
And I had it in my hand, and my wife looked at me like, she didn't say anything, but the look was, you still have a little bit left of your handle of Elijah Craig, and you have a full handle of Wild Turkey 101. I said, maybe not. Also a fun story before I get out of this. When I was pouring this whiskey for us to review just now, I poured my glass, and Cesar goes, Can you pour me a little bit more?
I was like, can you give me a little bit more than normal, please?
So I was expecting him to rate this one high. But nonetheless, guys, do us a favor. Hit us up in the comments. Have you had Sazerac Rye? Have you had that 18-year-old? How much did you pay for it?
Whoa, wait. Not on the streets. I'm in the liquor store. Have you had an 18-year-old on the shelf that you've paid for?
You know what the worst part is? That wasn't even a planned bit. Like, that just happened. Yeah, nonetheless, we're going to skate past that one. You can put the South Park kids with the not touching this with a 10-foot pole right across here. Do us a favor, guys. Hit us up in the comments. Let us know what you think. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We love interacting with you guys there. Until next time, stay safe and drink well. All aboard. We'll catch you next time. Hey, everybody. Hope you liked that video.
Don't forget to hit that bell for notifications.
And don't forget to subscribe.
Dude, I feel that shit stretching.
Stupid.
Yeah.